Joseph YouTube, welcome to the Coffee Pot. My name is Chishu Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I called off my engagement because I did not want to do any more housework alone. So guys, that is the excuse this would have been soon to be wife gave when asked, why did you call off your engagement? Now, she made this video that I'm about to play for you guys because she received a comment that read, I just ended my engagement because of this exact reason. I felt so much guilt until now. I'm so glad to know I'm not the only one. So guys, this comment got me thinking because, you know, the question is, why do women go on TikTok and cry, expose their husbands, film them, disrespecting them, try to embarrass them, initiate divorce, and go tell the whole world about it on TikTok, online, on different platforms? Well, I think we just found out why this happens. It's because these women that do initiate these divorces understand that they're breaking apart their family and they feel guilty. And so coming together and supporting each other, reassuring each other that, hey, you made the right decision. Hey, I did it too. Makes them feel not so bad about themselves. So it looks like that's why women share stories like this.
I called off my engagement after 6.5 years together because I came to realize that I did not want to spend the rest of my life cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, and doing laundry for a man when I worked full-time as well, and that was the expectation for me, to take on all of the domestic labor just because I was the woman. That was one of the main motivators for me. I knew that that could not be it, that there had to be more to life, and that I needed for me to find a partner who would be a partner and not just a husband. Now, I have had a bunch of women reach out to me in my messages with similar stories, saying that they also called off their engagement. And for me, that was one of the main motivations for me to write my book, Anxious to Wed. I don't think there's enough stories about women walking away from.
Really? You don't think there's enough stories of women walking away from relationships that do not serve them? Really? Let's get back into it.
Relationships that do not serve them. I think a lot of times women settle for the sake of settling down, and there needs to be more stories, more women's voices, more women standing up and saying, we're not going to accept the bare minimum anymore.
All right. So you guys heard it for yourself. She says, we're not going to accept the bare minimum anymore. The bare minimum for a woman is that she's doing the majority of the housework. And she does not want to do the majority of her womanly duties in the case that she's earning the same amount as that man. Okay, contrary to probably what a lot of people may expect me to say right now, I'm going to speak the truth about this specific situation. I actually support women when it comes to the issue of them working the same amount of hours as that man, earning the same, and that man being unrealistic with the way chores in the household should be divided. I believe that if you work the same as your woman or your fiance or your wife, or if she works more than you, which is crazy, and you both come together and you still expect her to do the majority of the housework, I think that's unrealistic, right? Yes, I believe the man should assist a woman with housework if they earn the same. With that being said, you're going to have a terrible time as a man in that type of relationship, marriage, etc. I would not encourage men to put themselves in that position. What would I encourage? I would encourage you to earn more than your woman. God forbid your woman earns more than you. You will have a difficult time. And I know women, modern women hearing this, don't like that coffee. Right? Put that coffee down. They don't want to hear it. But even an attorney that I reacted to last year said exactly what I'm saying right now, is that when a woman out earns the man, and I'll go even a step further, when she earns the same as that man, she builds resentment for that man for not earning more than her. You have a, let me play the video for you guys real quick so you guys understand what I'm talking about. In this video, she explains why marriages with higher earning women don't work without any further delay. Let's get it.
My last videos have sparked some interesting discussion about different types of marriage dynamics and what works and what doesn't. And so one of the more common ones that was asked about was a situation where a woman earns more money than the man and what that situation looks like. So I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I think that marriages where women earn more than men or where men don't work. Number 1 is, as I mentioned in my last video, men need to feel valued. And I think that when women earn more than men, it has a tendency to emasculate men. I think that they are ingrained within the society to think, I have to earn, I have to provide, right? Men are hunters and gatherers and they're supposed to provide. And I think that it kind of upsets the natural balance for the woman to be carrying that weight, because, sorry to say this, but a lot of women who work also carry a lot of weight in the home. So I think that adds to it. So even regardless of whether or not you have kids, I think a woman carrying more of the financial weight not only tends to emasculate the man, but also can cause more resentment to build in a woman that would build in a man in the reverse situation where the man is the higher income earner.
All right, guys. So you can go watch the rest of that video on my channel. It's titled "Expert Attorney Warns Men to Avoid Marriage with Higher Earning Women." So you might be asking, well, this doesn't sound like a situation where the woman earned more. It sounds like they earned about the same. If a woman today believes that you are not working harder than she is, that you're not picking up those extra shifts, that you're not going the extra mile to make sure that you are the breadwinner in that household, then it leaves room for her to hold resentment. Then you might think, well, find a woman that's understanding, that understands that, like, hey, we can split everything down the middle. Like I said, guys, I think men should help with housework in the type of situation where you earn the same as a woman. But in most cases, a woman will manipulate you, belittle you, not respect you as a man. All the shit you talk about traditional dynamics. You have to work to make sure that you are out earning that woman as much as possible. Because any slight feeling that she is working more than you or performing just about the same amount as you leaves room for that hypergamy to kick in. Then there's other topics that can be had about the situation, because some might say, well, it's not enough to just out-earn your women or outwork your woman, because studies have shown that women want men who out-earn them by a certain percentage. I've heard like 35%. Cornell study talked about how they prove that women want their ideal partner, the man who they want to marry, out-earns them by, I think it was like 58%. So when you get to the details of topics like this, it gets pretty complicated. But I think there are a few things men can watch out for overall. Number 1, in today's day and age, you want to help out around the house, especially if you're not working so much that you can't like hire somebody to do housekeeping or whatever to help out your wife. Then yeah, I have no problem stepping in and helping out. Now, I still believe that the woman should take the majority of the responsibility in that cleaning, and she should do most of it, right? The other interesting question is, well, if women truly want equality, then why is it that they expect a man to still lay down his life and protect them from physical harm and danger? Because I assure you, this is where it also gets very interesting. A lot of these women still want a man to protect them, as in if there was a situation where that man got scared and started screaming and running away like a woman, they would say, that's not the type of man I want. If you want a man who's going to protect you while you scream and run away, that's not equality, right? Do you truly want to be equal in every aspect in a modern relationship? There's also that aspect that you want to look at as well. And the other thing you got to make sure in today's day and age is you want to work hard. Now more than ever, you've got to work. The other thing you have to do in today's day and age, if you're somebody who still values a relationship and marriage with the woman, you're going to have to work hard so that there's a clear distinction between who's the man here, who's the breadwinner, who's in charge. Now, to all you guys who don't get married, don't get in the comment section. We get it. We understand. It's okay. And if you don't want to get married, then cool. I understand. You look at these odds, I get that too. Especially if you're a guy who's like, man, I don't care about money. I just want to live my life, date. I don't want to go through all that to potentially lose everything I've actually built. Of course, protect yourself, as always, if marriage is something that you still value. Last but not least, what the lady said in the video, which is basically avoid getting into relationships and marrying women who out-earn you. It is a recipe for disaster. That's a divorce attorney giving you advice. Regardless of how you choose to live your life in the future, guys, make your own decision. Don't be pressured by myself, comments down below, or anybody. A lot of people out here want me to push a certain type of message. It's always tell men it's their right to get married and that's what God wants them to do. I don't think so. We're living in some crazy times. Then there's the guys who don't get married. Nah, I don't think so. You're a man. You get to decide how you want to live your life and move forward. But you have to be aware. It's just not that simple anymore. These chicks today are crazy, my guy. Let's check out a few of these comments as always. First comment here says, I wish women who settled would be honest about it. Look at this. And then somebody else responded here and said, the actual creator responded. She says, I'm not sure they can be honest with themselves. It's a hard truth. I almost did it myself. Well, in this case, I think the guy won, she won, as long as as long as she returned her ring back to him and he walks away scot-free, everything's good. Another comment here says, this is why I'm getting divorced. So another woman here getting divorced because she's tired of doing all the housework and her husband not helping out. I would also wonder, does it matter if you are a nurse and your husband works in construction, right? Actually uses his body and is a lot more exhausted when you get back. There's also that should be taken into consideration as well. This chick responded, sending you lots of love. Another comment says, men got to realize we are earning half the money now. They need to contribute to half the work. Finally found a partner that helps me. Helping is cool, but in most cases, men still out-earn in the household. And I'm talking about households where people are married. I think there was a recent study that said like up to 40% of households now, women are breadwinners, 40%. And I bet you those relationships most of them are doomed to fail. Another comment here says, I left a 10-year marriage for this exact reason. We both worked and made the same, yet I did all the responsibilities at home. Wonder why she waited 10 years to finally leave. Another comment here says, it's not worth teaching significant others that being a certain gender entitles you to not having to do certain things. Thanks for sharing this. This is why it's important, guys, because even if you are a high earner, these women will still argue with you. You would be in a marriage and she'd literally be saying, I don't care what you do. Look at Tyrese. These women will still think they can do better. These are also conversations that have to be had about how things will go. Another comment here says, I did this for 20 years and was not appreciated at all. Now I'm done. Women deserve better than being a maid. Another comment says, was very clear with my husband from the beginning. Bills will be shared and all domestic chores will be too. We are 50-50 in everything and it works. There's no such thing as 50-50, guys. There is no such thing. Listen, as always, curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.